All right, listen up. Something's off. There's a glitch happening right now. A real ghost in the machine. It's a signal, buried so deep under all the noise that the suits are absolutely praying you don't see it. Because while they've got you glued to the ticker, the real money, the smart money, is moving somewhere else entirely.
Take a look at this number. Negative $502.8 billion. And this isn't some back-of-the-napkin math. This is straight from the Fed's own H.8 data. That's how much cash just evaporated from commercial bank assets. Poof, gone.
So that's the only question that matters right now, isn't it? Where in the world did it go? We're not talking about pocket change here. This is the kind of money that builds new empires or turns old ones to dust. And the silence around it, man, it is deafening.
Okay, let's get the mandatory compliance shield out of the way. I'm just a space ape looking at glowing rectangles. This is not, I repeat, not financial advice. This is just us digging into the data. You got to do your own research or you are going to become someone else's exit liquidity. And trust me, you do not want to be left holding the bag. We clear? Good. So, let's kick off this investigation. We're going to treat this like a crime scene because let's be honest, when $500 billion just vanishes without a trace, it probably is. And the first step in any investigation, you check the alibi. What are they telling us to look at instead? While all that cash was doing a disappearing act, this is what was clogging up the mainstream feed. Black Friday deals on slippers. The comeback of a frozen yogurt chain. Seriously. Elon's latest tweet. This isn't news. This is a magic trick. It's the look over here while the real action is happening somewhere else. It's professional-grade distraction. Now, any good misdirection has layers. And this first layer, it's not even for the masses. No, this one's designed for the so-called smart money, the folks who think they're too clever to fall for the fuzzy slipper ads. It's a trail of breadcrumbs that leads somewhere profitable, sure, but it's not the main prize.
And that trail is corporate lobbying. You know, the logic here is actually pretty sound. Companies don't drop millions of dollars bending the ears of politicians unless they expect a pretty sweet return on that investment. It's a classic, well-known signal.
And here's the kicker. It works. The data from Quiver Quantitative doesn't lie. A strategy of just buying the top lobbying spenders gives you a compound annual growth rate over 16%, a win rate of almost 80%. I mean, it's practically a license to print money. And that is exactly why it's the perfect distraction. See, it's too clean. It's the obvious play. It pays off just enough to keep the hedge funds and the algo chasers happy, sniffing down a trail that was laid out just for them, while the real prize is being moved quietly out the back door. But we didn't take the bait. We ignored the breadcrumbs. We went looking for that loading dock. We started asking a different question. Where could you put $500 billion to work to get returns that make 16% look like loose change? And that question led us somewhere completely different. This is it. This is the whole game right here. On the left, you've got the legacy data they tell you to watch. Earnings calls, GDP reports, the usual stuff. The language of the last century. But on the right, that's where we think that cash is really going. It's not financial data at all. It's raw, unstructured data about the physical world. Autonomous vehicle logs, genomic databases, satellite imagery. They're not trying to predict the market anymore. They're building a simulation of reality itself.
This isn't just some new, clever strategy. This is a fundamental paradigm shift. We're talking about the birth of a whole new kind of economy, one that's running in parallel to the one you see on the news every night. We're calling it the data-first economy.
Just think about what that really means. In this new economy, value isn't based on what a company did last quarter. It's based on predicting real-world events before they even happen. It's about predicting crop yields from space before the government reports come out. It's modeling how a new drug will work before you spend a dime on a clinical trial. The old financial data, it's become a lagging indicator. It's history. The real edge is in predicting the future.
So what's the play? Well, this shift creates a massive split. Two very, very different outcomes. There is no middle ground. There's no playing it safe. It's either a rocket to the moon or it's a nosedive to zero.
The bull case is pretty straightforward. That $500 billion isn't missing. It's being invested. It's the seed money for the entire infrastructure of this new data-first world. The companies buying up genomic data, LiDAR scans, satellite feeds, they're not just buying data. They're building the shovels for the next gold rush. They're building predictive engines for reality. And if you buy into that, this isn't just buying a dip. It's buying the future at a discount. But the bear case is just as powerful. Remember that $500 billion hole we started with? In this version of the future, it's not seed capital. It's a massive liquidity drain from the banking system we all depend on right now. It's a systemic risk. What if this is just the biggest, most expensive R&D bubble in history, burning through cash with no guarantee of a single profitable product? The old economy could buckle and collapse long before this new one is ever ready. It could be a trap.
So there it is. That's the glitch. A quiet $500 billion pivot, a shift away from the screens they want you focused on and toward the raw data that actually runs the world. The only question now is, what do you do with that information?
I want you to remember this. The next titan of industry, you're not going to find it by reading a 10K report. It's going to be found by someone who understands the true value of a petabyte of satellite data or a complete map of the human genome. Which brings us right back to the beginning. The game has changed. The battlefield has moved from Wall Street to sprawling server farms. So I'll ask you one more time. Are you sure you're watching the right screen? We are watching this chart like a hawk. While you wait for the next candle, grab your free gear. Sign up for Public to get $20 in free assets, check Webull for that BTC promo, or grab your NVIDIA stock on Moomoo. All the links are down in the description. Smash the like, subscribe to the tribe. Apes together strong.